Okay, so we'll continue with the cropping tool. Cropping tool basically what it do is that you just have to select the area that you want to crop. Okay, suppose I have selected the crop tool, it will give me these corners, and I can close this corner, I can reduce the size of this corner, and whatever part I want to be inside, I can bring it back. Also, you will see these grid. Now, this grid will help you to create a rule of third. Like suppose if I want this to be in the rule of third, I can bring this in rule of third in this part, or maybe in this part. But I think this is better. Okay, and I can check this. So I will get this image as cropped. Okay, I can undo that by pressing Ctrl Z. As many times you can undo, it's up to you. Now I have here like a perspective crop tool and slice tool. Slice tools basically for web purposes. Right now, for the web design purposes, I don't want that. If you want to slice images into different pieces, okay, it's for that. I don't want to use this right now because it's not for the photography purposes. Let's see if the perspective crop tool, but perspective crop tool, I think here it might not work. Let's see the other images if we have any perspective here. Okay, or what we can do, we can use the perspective for these boxes. Let's see what is the perspective, how this works. So if I will take the perspective crop tool, okay, now if you will notice that, let me zoom in. Just notice how is my uh, like kind of cursors changed. It's asking me to select a perspective. So I will take the perspective of this wall of this box. Now, what is a perspective tool? Perspective tool is a tool that actually uh, creates you a perspective. A perspective is you are looking at the images and the angles that are created. Okay, so what I will do here is that I will just press I will make a selection here. Once I'm done with the selection, I can take this, move one here, okay, this one here, and this one basically here. Now you can see that it has made a perspective just like this. Okay, and once this is done, I can press the the check mark here, and what it will do is that it will take that perspective, if you see that, and it will turn this into a straight image. Now it looks like it's a straight image basically. Okay, version of this part. Okay, now let me do one thing here. I will search an image of a signboard. Okay, and then I will bring it here, so it will become more easier for you to understand what it is. Okay, or maybe like a billboard. And let me find something here. Okay, I found an image here. So what I will do here is that I will just go file new and create a new file here. Okay, okay, create a new file here, paste it here. Okay, now this is like basically I have a kind of a perspective of this. Now, if you notice, I want this image from the signboard, but I want this image to be straight. I don't want it to look like this, like in a perspective. I want it to be a straight image. I want a straight image. So I will take my perspective tool, like perspective crop tool, make a perspective here on the screen. Okay, just like this. Now I will take these corner points, put them in the perspective in this way. Now everything is set it up, Now what I will do here is that I will just press this check mark button. Okay, as soon as I will do that, it will take that image and create it in this form. Okay, now if you feel that this image is stretched, so what you can do, you can just go to image size. Okay, and you can change the width of it maybe to something else, or what you can do is that just press control, just you can go to edit, free transform. The shortcut is control T. So control T whenever I will press, it's for free transform. If I will reduce the size, it will reduce the size from all over the place in the new Photoshop. So if I only want to change this width, so I have to press shift and then in new Photoshop it's quite you can say like a opposite now. Okay, now I can do this. Now this doesn't look stretched and I have a perfect picture out of that. Automatically Photoshop have done the work. Now I don't want this part, suppose. So what I can do, I can crop it. I can go to cropping tool, okay, and use this part here and then a little bit here, so I can, you know, select this and I will press the check mark and done. Or there is one more way I can undo it. I can go to image, trim. What does the trim do? Anything that is useless, like this part or some white border around it, they will like those will be trimmed as well. So if I will press trim, ask me where you want to trim, so I will say okay, top left pixels from here or bottom right pixels, whatever like you want. Press OK. Okay, and then you can click here, done. Okay, or if you want to auto trim, you can just go and trim. Okay, or sorry, one more thing, to trim it, they all have to be on one layer. Right now they are not in one layer. This layer, like there are two layers here. Okay, layer 1 and background. So I have to go to the layer option, flattened image. Once it is flattened, now there is no layer. Now I can trim it. Okay, I'm not sure why this is not happening, but there is some issue here. But anyhow, maybe there is some problem with the trimming here. I don't know for what reason is doing that, or maybe something is selected maybe. Okay, yeah. So basically, image trim, you don't have to flatten it. Sorry. So it's not so the problem. The problem was something else. I don't know what was the problem, why it wasn't happening. But if I will choose bottom right pixel color, so because if I will use top left pixel color, this is the top left pixel color. So this will not help me to trim. I want the bottom right pixel color, which is this one, white. So I want to trim the white area. So that's what I have to select. Okay, then I have to press OK, then it will be trimmed automatically. Another way to do is that I can take my marquee tool, select whatever I want, okay, and then image crop. That's another way to do it. So this is what like I usually use to trim the images. Okay, so this is more perfect, the last option I told you, by using the marquee tool. Okay, now let me close this one. Okay, now let's go back here. Now next here is the frame tool. Now what does the frame tool do is that this is for sorry, this is for like design purposes. If you want to design posters or something, so you create a frame, just like InDesign. If you have worked on InDesign, you create frames and you drop items in the frame. So for that purpose you use the frame tool. So for photographers it's not a it's not something that is like required. Next here is eyedropper. There are different kind of eyedropper. Eyedropper tool, a 3D material eyedropper tool, color sampler tool, ruler tool, node tool, 1, 2, 3 count tool. So what does the eyedropper tool do? Eyedropper tool, suppose I'm working on this image and I like one color. Maybe I like this blue color, but I don't know what blue color this is. So what I can do, I can take the eyedropper tool. The shortcut is I on your keyboard. When you press I on your keyboard, you will get the eyedropper tool. And if I click here, it will show me this color. Okay, you can see on the like the boundary. And the bottom color is the color. Suppose here we have colors. Let me change this color to red. Now I will take the eyedropper and click here. So the bottom color is the one which is the previous color I was using. Why it is showing me the previous color? I can match both colors, previous and the one I'm taking. Now I can move my mouse, and my left mouse button is still pressed. I didn't lift my finger from the left mouse button. It is still pressed. I'm just moving around like this, and you can see that I can, wherever I go, it is showing me the comparison of the previous color and the current color. So whatever I like, I can go there. This red instead of the bottom red, okay, instead of the previous red. So I will just leave my mouse over here, so I will have the new color. Apart from that, this is for the 3D mode, because you can do some 3D stuff over here, 3D designing. This is for the 3D purposes. We are not going into detail for this one. Now, color sampler. Now, what does the color sampler do? You can see that my eyedropper is changed to something different. If I will click on any color over here, it will give me the information of that color. Okay, sampling. And now if I click over here, it will give me the second option over here. Now if I will go and click on this, it will give me this option. So how many I have here? 1, 2, 3. So this is showing me how this one looks like. You can see that I have this small icon here. Okay, this is the sample of the color I'm taking from, and there is one here. Okay, and there is one somewhere also, somewhere here. I don't remember where I put it, but what I do is that you can put as many samples you want, and you can see, you can compare the colors there. Okay, so I don't want these, so I will just simply go to my moving tool, and they all will be gone. Okay, apart from that, I have a ruler tool. What does the ruler tool do? Suppose I want a distance, and I want to know what is the distance between this star and this star. So I can take the ruler, click here, and make a line till here. Once I will do that, okay, I can straighten the line, okay, or I can clear the line, or I can use measurement scale, okay. But the main thing is that use measurement scale will give me more options, or like more control over here. So you can see that when I press it here, you can see the options. Now, Photoshop uses pixels. I'm using pixels right now, so it is giving me the information in pixels. So from here to here, okay, this is around this much. Okay, this is its value, 322 pixels, and then you have minus 334. 24 is the height. If I want to straighten up this line, I can press the straighten layer, and then it will straighten it up to that line. Okay, you got the idea. Suppose if I think, okay, my image should be straight according to this box. So I can do is that I can take my scaling tool, ruler, make a line from here and to here. You can see how is this width going on. Now if you will see that if I will press straight layer here, so keeping that thing in mind, it will straighten up my image. So this is a quite good tool to straighten up your images. Okay, so ruler do these kind of stuff. Now it's a good tool when you're taking photograph. Now note, it's do nothing, it just gives you notes. Okay, like suppose if you're working for like with your friend and you want to send him to him, you can take this note, click over here, and you can write here, please change its color. Okay, and that's all. Now once you will send this to your friend, he will open the PSD file. He will see this button. Let me close this. He will see this button. As soon he will click on this button, okay, so he will get this note, please change its color. So he will know what he have to do. So this is the purpose of the basically of your uh, tool over here for sorry, node tool. Okay, now let's remove this one here by pressing this button. Oops. Delete this from here. Okay, you can click here to delete. Now, apart from the node tool, we have 1, 2, 3 count tool. You can just add numbers here. Okay, like suppose I want to count these circles, how many circles I have, sphere I have. So now if I will start counting, I will just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Oh my god, from where I started, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, did I count it this, or 1, 2, 3? So confusing. Okay, so it will be really hard for you to count sometimes if you have a lot of things. So you can take the 1, 2, 3 count tool, click on these, and it will just create these options on it, and easily you will know what is going on. Now it will show me how many there are. Okay, here what I can do is that I can change the size of this one, the text. Okay, and then I can change this to maybe 10, and the color I can put it this maybe black. Okay, so here I can change these. Now I simply know how many I have counted. 12, total 12. Very easy to count now. Okay, so count group, I can make a group here, rename this group. I can call it maybe jingle bells, or what is called Christmas balls. Okay, now what I can do here is that I can make a new one. Okay, and call this stars, and I can go to the stars now. Okay, and then I will start counting again, this time stars. But let's do one thing. For the stars, let me change the color to red. Okay, so I will quickly do that. Now all the stars are there. Yes, so how many stars I have? 6 stars. Okay, total items are 18, stars I have 6, Christmas ball I have 12. Total are I have total, what I have, total I have 18. Now if I'll go to my move tool by pressing this button or pressing V, so what will happen temporarily, I will be gone, I will be out of this mode. Now if I will press anywhere, I will not be pressing the buttons. But if you don't want to see this, you can just go here, press clear. Okay, or you can go simply delete this from here. That's all. Okay, so that's how you can count easily. Okay, now over here we have spot healing tool. What it do is heals the spot. Okay, just like this, you can see in the video, this small clip. Now I don't want to go through this. It's a very detailed tool. So when we'll move to the more detailed part, so then we will learn. Just right now we are going through the introduction. Now healing brush tool is what is little different. It's to heal some of the items in your uh, you know here, like suppose something is very bright, so it will start uh, like changing the brightness. It's really good for fixing the brightness and the darkness of your image. Okay, the healing brush tool, if you have overexposed areas in your image. So now I have here patch tools. What it will do is that it creates it, it's just like a spot healing tool, but it creates a patch. Okay, so all this we will do in detail. Now we have here content aware move tool. This one I can tell you right now because it's not a big deal. Okay, so what I can do here with the content aware tool is that I will go to content aware tool. Okay, from here. Okay, and once I will do that, I have to select an item to move. Let's do one thing. Let me take this magnetic lasso tool, and I will take my star. I have took the star. Now if I have took the star when I'm moving, so it's not moving the star. What's moving? It's moving my marquee tool. Okay, but I want to move the star. So I will take this move tool and then I will go here and try to move it, and you can see what it do. It makes a hole over here, it makes a gap over here, which actually I don't want, because it's an image, it's a flat image, so obviously it will do that. But the content aware tool is again a machine learning process which is behind Adobe. It's like Adobe Sense, okay, which is an artificial intelligence based tool. So I will select with this content aware move tool, select whatever I want to move, okay, maybe this part, and then once it is selected, now I can go in the middle and try to move it somewhere, like suppose here. If I will move it here, so you can notice that the original is still there, the copy is moved. So if I will press the check mark button here, okay, now let's see what it will do. It will remove this part and it will add this part here. So Control D to see select everything. Okay, so basically a good tool to move without destructing anything. Okay, it's a non-destructive way. And here we have let me go back to the brush. Now in the brush, what we have here is we have different kind of brushes, but brushes usually are for the painting purposes, but we do use brushes in the photography too for masking purpose. Okay, now brushes that we use for the masking purposes is not too advanced, it's very simple. So once we will move to the masking and others, we will see in detail. All the other pencil, color replacement, and are for the painting purposes. Okay, color replacement, what it do is that just I will show you. Okay, you can simply select this color here, okay, and you can replace it with some other color. Okay, like suppose this one, or take the brush tool and start painting over here. Okay, so for that purposes you can use that, but usually for the painting. Okay, now clone tool, pattern stamp tool, these tools we will use once we will move to the more advanced part, because it's a little detailed, like there are more other things about this. We'll see that what it is. Now this one here, we have the history brush tool. Now what does the history brush tool do? Suppose if I will remove any part, okay, and something happens wrong, like suppose if I will take this brush, paint over here, okay, let me change this, and something like that. Now if I will go to the history brush tool and brush over whatever I have done, like this part, so it will remove, okay, the last option. Okay, now suppose I will do here, I will do here, I will do here. If I will take now red color and I will do here. Now if I go to the history brush tool and start removing, you can see that it will remove the last option which I did. Okay, so this is good tool. Why? Because suppose I want to paint here, but actually it goes out of the way because of the size of the brush. So I can go to my history brush tool, make it a little smaller, okay, and remove this part. Or what else is that, if I will take my content aware tool, the content move tool here, okay, where is it gone, and move some item, like maybe I want to move this here at this part. Okay, now you can see that I have moved it from here to here. And if I will take my history brush tool and start brushing over, you can see that I can remove from here. And then if I will draw here, you can see that it's bringing that part back here. Okay, so this is the way also you can do it. It's a history brush tool which removes your history basically. Now here you have art history brush tool. This is for painting purposes, art purposes. Okay, so it might not be that useful for you because this is, you know, if I go over here and start doing something over here, you can see that it's giving me a like a brush stroke. It is converting this into a brush stroke. Okay, and if I undo this, oops, and then I can change this, the style over here, brush style, loose curl, so it will make it like a loose curl here. Let me reduce the size of this. Okay, area, you can make it like a small area, maybe for 10, so it will make a small area. Tolerance maybe 20, so you can see less item coming up, or maybe more or less. Okay, so you have a lot of options here. You can use that to convert your items into you know, painting sort of thing. Okay, like this is for the dabs. Okay, so for photography, maybe you can use it for some places, but mainly it is used for the like painting purpose. Now we have the eraser tool. Eraser tool is if you want something, suppose if I will make a new layer from here and draw something wrong, I can go in the erase and I can erase this part, and I can I think, let me increase this. Okay, I can erase that easily. But if I draw something without the layer and then I will try to erase, I will erase the whole image, which is wrong. So if you're drawing on the image, then the best tool is the this tool, the history brush tool, to remove. Eraser tool will only erase the parts, the whole as a whole, not as the history. Okay. Now here we have one more thing. We have background eraser tool. Okay. What does the background eraser tool do? If I'll take the background eraser tool and draw over here, okay, so I don't have anything in the background, but still I will draw in here. So you can see that it is removing the background, okay, or this part, and bringing whatever is behind. Okay, so I can have different kind of options here. If I will use this one and erase this, it will be more precise. Okay, or if I click here and move, it will count this as a background now. Okay, so it will remove this. So you have to decide whatever you want to remove. You have to click on that first. So now this will remove the background from there. It will not affect this image. Okay, so I have used what, this part. Now what if I will use sampling background swatch? So it will take my this color. Okay, it will not do anything because this color is nowhere here, maybe here. Yeah, because this blue is matching from here, then it will remove. Okay, this is what, this is the mix of this color and this color, but the best is this, the middle tone. Okay, that's the like the middle option. Now suppose if I want to remove this color, so I have to click on it first. When I will click on it first, the Photoshop will count this as a background and it will start removing only that part. But if I will click on here first, then it will count this as a background and it will only remove that. Okay, very good tool to remove the background easily. Okay, sometimes what happens when you bring stuff in your Photoshop after copying, so a little part of background is left there, so you can use this tool. After that, we have Magic Eraser tool. Okay, this is also a new tool. What it do is that if I will select this like this one, and any area which is closer, like here, I want to remove here, I will just click one time here and it will erase this. Okay, one time here, erase this. Or maybe this one. Okay, now if you will see that some tools, when you take it, it's like a cursor. Can you see my mouse cursor? It's very confusing. I don't know where I have to click. So if I will press my caps lock button for capital letters, If I press the caps lock, it will turn into cross. Now I know I have to press where. It will become easier for me to click. Okay, because without that, now I don't know which is the like pressing part. Maybe this is the pressing part. Okay, or maybe this is the pressing part, because this is quite uh, confusing when you're using this kind of cursor. So it's like a fancy logo sort of cursor. So better to use caps lock. Okay, so that's the magic eraser tool. Bucket tool here is basically you have gradient tools, bucket tool for the colors, mainly used for design purposes, but in Photoshop sometimes we do use it. Okay, that's in some areas. Now here we have very strong tools that are highly used for images. Blur tool, if you want to blur something. Suppose if this is too harsh, it's too sharp, so I want to blur it. So I will take the blur tool and I can choose how much blur I want it. I want it to be 100% blur, so okay, so I will keep it 100% blur, and then I can go here and start blurring. You can see that it's blurring back here. Now this I'm blurring the normal mode. If I will go to the darken mode, so whatever is the dark part, it will be blurred. So now you can see that it's only blurring the dark part. Now if I'll go here, lighten. So whatever is the light part will be blurred, like all these highlights here will be blurred. Okay. Now after that I have here a hue. So whatever color I will press will be blurred first. Okay. Then I have here saturation. So it will blur the saturation only. So basically you use normal usually. Now other than that I have sharpen. What it do is that it's opposite of blur. It sharpens the area. Like suppose if I go here, you can see that it's sharpening this part. Okay, now it's too much sharp. So I will undo this, and right now sharpen strength is 50. If I will increase it 100, so it will sharpen a lot more, if you can see. Or what I can do, I can simply go here, sharpen the lighten part. So all these highlights will be sharpened. Other parts will be not sharpened. This is one more way to do it. Now let's see what we have next. We have here smudge. Smudge is used for painting purposes. Let me change this smudge brush. Okay. Brush is everything we will do when we will move to the next class. Right now I'm just giving introduction of the toolbar. Now smudge, what it will do, just like the name smudge, it's used for drawing purposes or for the painting purposes. You click on something, depending on the strength, you can smudge it. Okay, just like this. So the smudge is too strong over here. So I can go back here. If I will reduce this, now it's less, so it will not smudge more. Sometimes for photography you can use it for artistic purposes, but mainly for painting, drawing it is used. Okay, so this is what the smudge tool usually do. Okay. Now let's go here or still use this one. Now here I have burn tool. Now burn tool and I have here dodge, burn, and sponge. Dodge tool first. Let's dodge. What does the dodge do? Any tool which any area which is darker, it will highlight that area. Usually in the older times when we used to develop films, there was a dodging process where you put a light more on the surface of the photograph and it becomes more brighter. So that's what's the dodging called. Now if I will go here and if I want to dodge this, so I will take the dodging tool, I will choose my exposure. Okay, now I want to dodge the shadows, the darker parts. So I will go to darker part, exposure, maybe I will increase it more. And whatever darker part is will be now highlight, will become brighten. It will brighten up the darker part. So if I will do that, you can notice that what is happening to the darker part becoming highlighted. Okay, so you can keep on pressing and keep on doing. You can see the darker part is now getting brighter. So let me undo that. If I will choose midtones, so it will take the middle part and it will brighten up. So midtone looks more nicer, and you can see that it's all brightened up. So let me undo this as well. Then highlights. So whatever is highlight, that will be brightened up, like these highlights. So now you can see that highlights are brightened up. Okay, I can press again. As many times you will press, it will start applying more and more effects on it. So that's what the dodging tool do. Then I have burning tool. This is opposite of the dodging. Whatever is highlighted part, whatever part is like bright, it will darken it up. So I will take this one and I will choose maybe mid-tone this time and a little bit more exposure. So whatever mid-tone part is become dark. So you can see that. So the only highlights are you can see now, but the middle part is now dark. Okay, let's try on this one. So you can see that just like this. So now only thing I can see is those dots. Okay, so that's what this burning tool do. Then I have sponge tool. Sponge tool, what it do is that it removes the color. It desaturates the color or it saturates the color. Suppose if I will use the desaturate and flow, I will use high flow. High flow means like high value. It will affect more. If it is low, it will affect less. So I will increase the effect and start desaturating this part, and you can see that as much I'm applying on it, you can see it is removing the color out of it. And if I will overdo it, you will notice that it is becoming black and white. Okay, all the colors is removed from here. Now apart from this, I have saturate here, and if I will apply the saturation on something, like suppose on this one, so the red will if I will do on the red, okay, you will notice that red will become more brighter. Okay, that's what the sponge tool do, desaturate or saturate. So here black and white, here's more color. Pen tool basically used for drawing purposes, but in photography, based on photographs, you can use the pen tool to select some items accurately. Okay, which we will study in the next class. For the like a demonstration, I can show you. Suppose I can take the pen tool and I want to select this, so I can click anywhere here, click here, drag, then click here, drag, click here, drag, okay, then click here, click here. So this is you can do with the pen tool. Okay, I will trace everything with the pen tool. Once I have selected the whole thing, I can go to the path from here, right click and make selection, or simple what I can do here, I have these options down, and from here I can choose any one of these, or like I think the best is here, go to path, okay, and I can use this option. Once I will click over here or right click or make path, so it will do what? It will make a selection here, okay, and that will be very accurate, clear selection. Suppose if I want to cut it, so there is no jigs and jags over this, everything is exactly fine. Okay, now apart from that, I have text tool here, just if you want to write a text, so you can take the text tool, you can write. Once we will move it to it, then you can do it. Direct selection tools basically for drawing purposes, if you're using pen tool. Okay, for photography, if you're using pen tool, then we will use it, otherwise we don't have to use it. Okay, shape tool we have to create shapes, different kind of shapes you have here. Then hand tool is like a panning tool, you can pan around your image just like this. Okay, it's not moving the image, it's just moving my screen, that's all. Here inside that I have rotate view tool. Rotate view tool, what it will do, it will rotate my screen. Like suppose I can click here and rotate it. This is good if you're using like a screen tablet. Okay, so for that purposes it is. So you can double click here, so it will reset. Double click on this tool, it will reset. Now zooming tool, you can zoom by pressing, keep your mouse press, it will keep on zooming in. If you want to zoom out, press Alt, keep your mouse left button press, and it will start zooming out. Okay, or you can just press just like this wherever you want. I want to zoom here, I will keep on pressing here. Okay, if I want to zoom out, you can double click here and it will show you the 100% actual size. You can see 100%. So if you double click this, it will give you 100%. Also, you can zoom in and zoom out by pressing Alt on your keyboard or Option on your keyboard if you're using Mac, a mouse wheel to scroll up and down, and you can also zoom. But you have to press Alt on your keyboard to do that. Or suppose I want to zoom here. So I can take my zooming tool and I can make it like a click and drag left or right, and it will zoom over here. Okay. Clear, everyone? And if I want to zoom out, so I can still do the same thing here. And after that, I have here these three dots. This is edit toolbar. If you click over here and keep it pressed and then click on edit toolbar, you will get these options. These options basically you can remove from here or you can make your own. Like I like this tool, I use it a lot, so I can make my favorite options here and put it there. So that will be appeared here. Okay, you can make your own, but I want to keep it here. Okay. This is added in quick mask mode. If you want to make masks are really important when you're working on in photography. Photography is highly based on masks, so you have to be expert in masking. So when we will move to the next classes, or like more advanced classes, we will learn more about the masking. Okay, so when you click on it, you will go to the quick mask mode. Okay, so if I'm in the quick mask mode, you can see that it's showing me a red option here. This turns black and white, and then I can take the brush here. I can paint here with the black color. Okay, it's black, but it's showing red over here. Red means I'm masking this out. I'm clipping this out. Wherever there is black will not show, and whatever is white will show. So I will press X on my keyboard. X swaps black and white. So if I press now, I'm in white. If I will draw here, it will remove this part. Okay. Or what I can do is that I can take my black, go to the fill, and everything will become the black here. And now what I can do is that I can take my brush tool, go back to my white tool here, and start painting this part, suppose. Okay, so everything else is red, only this part is not red. Now when I'm done, I will press this again. So once I will press this again, you will see that this part is only selected and rest is not selected. So if I will do any change, suppose if I will take I will make a new layer over here and then take my fill and try to add the color, it will be only dropped over here. But if I don't want to drop it here, I want to drop it here, I will not be able to do that. What I have to do is that I have to go to select, inverse the selection. Now this part is selected, not this. So if I click here, it will add it here. Okay, clear everyone? So any questions so far do you have like related to your the Photoshop introduction? Okay, any question, any confusion? If you have, let me know. So next class we will do some more advanced stuff and changes in the we will learn more things about the Adobe Lightroom, and then we will learn more thing about the Photoshop also. So we will keep on going back and forth. So we will do things on Lightroom before the break, and then we will do work on Photoshop after the break. Okay. So clear everyone? Let's meet on the blackboard so I can take your attendance, and then over there I will take your attendance, and just let me know if you're here or no, and then I will mark your attendance. Okay guys, so let's move to blackboard and we will continue our next class and on next week. Okay, so let's meet on blackboard.